But yeah, haven't done that in a while. So we usually give them a little, like the next time you see them, you stick 2 little bottles of Fireball in your bag and you're supposed to take them for a drink, but no one ever has time. And it's nice, the pickle group doesn't drink a lot, so that's nice. If it was the golf girls, that'd be totally different. You'd be
Oh,
buying
yeah.
their drinks.
Yeah, exactly,
So, yeah.
exactly.
Do you play at home?
Mostly I play at Brookhaven.
Oh.
Played at Addison some, I play at the libraries, you know, who's I'm playing with and what, but mostly at Brookhaven.
All right, it's 6. All right.
It was going and now it's, I don't see its eyeballs. There we go.
Okay, there it is. All right, welcome Thursday, June 26th for our meeting, call to order. And we're gonna move on out seeing the citizen comments here today. So we're going to go to the consider approval of minutes for May 15th, 2025. Take appropriate action. I have a motion on review your minutes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes as posted.
I second.
Thank you. Receive an update regarding the historical preservation and restoration board meeting, board minutes. I already did that, sorry. Right? Nope, that's what we needed to talk about, restoration board meeting minutes. What's that? Yeah,
That's, yeah,
No, that's what we just did.
that was it.
no,
No,
we did this,
but this one received the update
Yeah.
regarding, and that's,
the minutes.
that's this one.
Okay. All right, so starting with June meeting today, the city staff will be responsible for taking the minutes for the meeting. These minutes will be officially voted on. The board secretary should continue taking notes, labeling them as board notes, and then submitting them. The notes will become supplement documentation. So I guess we got that from the city staff.
So they're taking this and transcribing it.
No, Hillary's gonna take notes and I'm sorry, the minutes. And then Jenny's gonna take the notes and then send them over.
How are the notes different in the minutes?
The minutes are your official document, so we clarified with city secretary on that staff is responsible for the actual official minutes. So you can continue to have a secretary position and you can continue to take notes, but those notes will just be included as part of documentation from the meeting. They won't be the official approved minutes.
Okay, because I understand you have to say how many people voted, how many people didn't.
Mhm.
Correct. That'll be up to Hillary can do that. You can do, and then it's up to the board if you want to continue to have a secretary position, that's fine. If you want to have one as part of the board, I don't believe it's, I don't think, you guys have bylaws for historical department board? I don't think so. So, it's not required to have a secretary position. So we're leaving it up to the boards to make that decision. The one thing I would think about is you have a vice chair and a chair. If you want to have a secretary in case maybe those positions are out, you always have another person who can take a meeting if they need to. But that would really be the primary reason, other than if you just want to have your own notes attached to the packet.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
no problem.
Will we still vote to approve the minutes?
Correct. So every meeting you'll be able to vote. So any changes, if staff misses something, you can always add it before the vote.
Okay. So do we need to vote on keeping the secretary or not?
No, I mean,
Okay.
when you do board elections
Mhm.
in August, you
Then
can
we
choose
do it.
then if
Okay.
you want to.
Perfect, thank you. Okay, so now we're going on to review board absences, ordinance number 3730, it's in your packet.
My only feedback is it's not 25% attendance, it's 25% absence.
Right, it's absence.
Right, but it says here and here, it's 25% attendance. I would just change the label to absence.
In the paragraph, it does say absence from more, doesn't it? in that?
It's attached draft letter, 25% attendance rate close to being reached,
Yeah.
absence rate.
Yeah. Okay. And it starts at your year.
It hasn't changed. This is
No,
what's been in effect.
It's the same thing. I guess now they have it in writing or
And then it starts each year. that we-
anniversary, your each anniversary. So it's different for everyone.
But the red letters say with 25% rate close to being reached.
So for ours, since we have 10 meetings a year, it equals out to like 2.5 meetings missing those. So then it bumps to 3.
So we get.
So you'd send this at 2? The letter would go out at 2 absences?
To let you know that you're getting close to it. I'm reading.
And on the third one,
Mhm.
you would vacate the position.
But this is a standard city thing for all.
Yeah.
This is the current ordinance we've had in place. This is more just a reminder to everyone about that it's in place and because it is a little bit confusing. So
Mhm. And I think it's helpful. It would be valuable to know when it started, when it starts and when it resets, especially, I mean, if it's different for everybody, how do you know?
I think Hillary has a.
We're gonna be getting the updated, roster with everyone's turns on there, because in the old one, it was updated, but it didn't have, I think some of them were off a little bit.
Yeah, I was just saying in the letter where it says you noted that you have currently missed blank meetings of the blank meetings. The calendar year or your anniversary year started blank and this will reset on blank. A sentence in there to help people understand what term they're actually looking at would be helpful.
well, that's just a form letter. So if you got one of those, we would be specific on there on which ones you missed and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's good.
The first went into effect in, 2022.
Yeah. Everybody clear on that? Okay. Moving right along. Receive an update on historic park current projects, events, and upcoming activities. Lori?
In your agenda, we've got a calendar of events of things coming up. This has the dates of June 23rd through September 30th. So our art cello camp, we had one last week and the second one is this week and it ends tomorrow. The kids have been having a great time. The Independence Day celebration is coming up next week on the 3rd. And I do have the volunteer sign-up sheets. I've sent it around last month and several. I think we're actually good on this, but I'll go ahead and send it again just in case anyone needs to change their sign-up or anything. We will have the chairs ready, the team camp teams will be able to help with taking them to people's seating areas and help with all of that. So I'll be at the event, so we'll get everything set for that. So it should be a really great evening. A lot of fun and fireworks and celebration. We have Paint the Rocks coming up. Our passive programming on Saturday, July 12th, August 9th, and September 13th. Our Girls Make History Camp will be July 14th through the 18th. We still have a few spots available for that one. So our multi-award winning Girls Make History Camp. Come Fly a Kite. That's another one of our passive programs. For the rest of the summer, we have one scheduled for Sunday, July 20th, August 17th, and September 21st. And then our Christmas tea reservations go on sale on Monday, August 11th. And we are holding that in venue 1842 this year. So it's over 2 weekends. So we should, hopefully we'll get all those sold out. So we're excited about that. And the teas are Saturday, December 6th, which also that day is the Christmas Carnival. It's that evening. And then the following weekend, Saturday, December 13th. We're only doing one seating since we're going to be in a larger space. We're not going to do the 2 seatings, and both those start at 11 a.m. So if we've sold out in the past, last year we sold out in one day, so hopefully this year, if you didn't get a chance, now that we have a little bit more space, should have room available.
Is
for
that gonna be a
everybody.
computerized registration or is that still a phone in?
She has it as phone in, but it is, should be on ActiveNet. Kim was supposed to
Okay.
put it on so that you can reserve.
Because
from there.
several people have asked.
She follows up to make sure, parties, if you're all together, make sure we sit you next to each other and everything like that. Just how we do the, same as Matt had.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was Mad Hatter or the previous Christmas tea, but they were selling tables instead of tickets. Is
Right.
that how it's gonna be
I think we're
this
doing
time as well?
tables as well.
Yeah.
We'll still have, we're gonna do like larger, 8-person tables, smaller ones. So if you have a group of 4, or the Mad Hatter Tea, we sold huge tables of like 8 to 10 people. And then smaller groups we did on the long, like almost like these traditional, the Mad Hatter style. We're gonna do rounds. So we'll have the larger tables. We'll also have our smaller ones. So there'll be multiple sizes of, to accommodate different party sizes.
Will there be parties of 2? Because I wasn't in the previous.
I will ask on that. I'm
Okay.
not sure. I think she has it. I think so, but I will double check on that.
Didn't for the Mad Hatter Tea, they did parties of 2, like they did 2 and 2.
Yeah, for the
on
long
a long
table.
table.
I'm not sure if we're doing a long table. We may do some. We're still working out the logistics of it, but I know we do get a lot of inquiries for parties of 2 or 3. So we'll make sure that that's
And
accommodated.
I don't
Bring your
think it
friends.
was that bad doing the 2 and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'd
It's
be
just
more than
that-
happy to sit with
yeah.
strangers, but I don't wanna buy more
Right.
than just for me and my daughter.
Oh, no, you could just buy 2 tickets and they'll figure out where to see you.
We'll make it work. Make sure everyone's accommodated. And then we have our classic car show in local field pop-up coffee shop on Saturday, September 27th. I was chatting with someone at City Hall earlier this evening and she was telling me about her historic car and I'm like, well, we're doing a car show. So we already have a registration. We already have a couple registrations. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. That will be, as I said, September 27th from 10 to 2. It is free. For the public, it'll be $25 for the classic car registration.
Do we have posters on that yet? Because someone asked me.
Yes, we have flyers and we're
Yeah.
getting all that.
Okay, I need to pick those up.
Now I have some out front,
Okay.
the flyers. I don't have poster size, but I have.
Yeah.
A regular sheet size.
Yeah.
The park will be closed on Friday, July 4th for Independence Day, as well as Monday, September 1st for Labor Day. Any questions on the calendar?
Do you know if the construction out here, like when that is scheduled to end and if that will be happening? I'm assuming it's gonna be happening next week for the 4th of July event or,
It'll be completed, November 2025.
Okay.
Between, William Dodson Park, I think that is, and Farmers Branch Lane, is when it's expected to be, ending. We got that from Public Works earlier this week, so I feel like as of right now, that's the time frame.
So it will be a mess now.
yeah,
Answer your question.
yeah, that's,
I think it's been a mess for
A while.
a lot of the stars usage too. They've had a lot of activity with the new facility, so
Oh, it is always crowded.
it's just, it's a lot. It's a lot, so.
Yeah.
you guys always do good with signage, sorry. But
No.
yeah, it's gonna be us.
Yeah, and I just think speaking of signage, if people know where to go, I witnessed this on my way home. 18-wheeler came down Farmers Branch Lane, realized, because the sign, I guess he didn't know how to read, road closed, detour. And then realized when he got halfway, I'm
Mhm.
confused,
Right here.
oh, right here, when he got halfway down here, that he needed to detour. And he literally backed up and held up traffic. You know, it was a long line of traffic because he had
Yeah.
to back up and then, you know, go
And we,
down.
and we direct people for the event to Metro Square, over there off Ford Road, but, you know,
Yeah.
people. So hopefully most will go there and not, you know, you don't get into this.
Yeah,
And then typically if you live in the area, you're
you
gonna,
know,
it's all a mess.
Alrighty, and can we have a update? Sorry.
We had the board, new board member orientation at City Hall this evening, so I met the 2 new, people, 2 new alternates that will be joining us at the August meeting. So as a reminder, we do not have a meeting in July. I'll send out a reminder next month to everyone. So our next meeting will be in August. I won't be here for that meeting, but Bonnie will be here. So she said she would facilitate for me. Our new members will start in August and we'll meet them. I already sent around the volunteer sign up. We also have the board chair meeting is on July 16th. So that one's coming up, and that's the one that Missy presents to council and city manager and all of everything y'all been working on and everything. So that's the biannual update for that one. And then there was a question last time about the log cabins and an update with that. So I'll turn that over as well.
Yeah, well, and Hillary knows, she's been working on this and just kind of add to it, but I know she had a meeting this week with our public works department, our our stormwater engineer, to just kind of look at floodplain and some of the different interesting topography, drainage questions that we have. And then also I know I've got her trying to see if we can get an updated quote from the vendor that gave us one a few years ago on what it would cost. Is really, I think that's kind of what we need to get, is we still need kind of an updated cost on what it would cost to put the cabins back, no matter where we put them. But I know she did find out, and Hillary, I'll let you speak. I guess they are looking at some drainage improvements along Farmers Branch Lane within the next couple of years, which would help drainage into the park. So that helps kind of, guide us on maybe a time frame. If, do we want to wait until some of those improvements are done, or, try to find a place where we won't have much of an issue, even though, because most of the area south of the brick pathway is in the floodplain. So basically the little sliver that's where the venue is just outside. So, so basically, and then most everything up here is out of the floodplain. And I think this building was moved, wasn't it, to get out of the floodplain?
Yeah,
So,
back in the-
yeah, so it was, with the creek, I guess it was too close and had lots of flooding issues. So, so I don't have an ETA on when the cabins will be, turned in. We're just still doing fact finding. It's just back on my radar. So, but I know it's something the board is anxious to kind of, and residents as well, try to get those back up and going. So, I think once we determine the cost and even have a proposed location, we can kind of see what funding is available and where we would get that funding and all that good stuff. So
that's before we get an independent master plan, or that's information to give to the master
at
planners?
this point, I think what we need to do is just get a cost of what it's going to cost to put the cabin back. And I think we probably have enough institutional knowledge to know kind of a good location to put them. Then it's just going to be a matter of what the cost to put them all back together.
So you're not gonna wait for the master plan?
I think we know, I think from what I understand from Hillary, the master plan just determines kind of best location. And that's determined kind of on our flood, and that's kind of where she was. And I think when we started this process, we didn't even have a stormwater engineer. So Public Works now has one. That's all they do is look at our stormwater creeks and all that. And so then with the city engineer, we're able to kind of let her know, which is kind of what we knew, where places would work. And so I think that being said, then we just need to know, okay, we kind of have a general idea. We just need to know how much it's going to cost to get them back over and put them back.
So once we determine how much it cost, how quickly would we put them back? Because if we wait a couple of years, that quote's not gonna be.
Yeah, and that's why I don't know if we would want to wait on the improvements, because that could take a while.
Right.
So I would think, once we have a cost and we get some direction on to be able to spend that money to put them back, and I'd say we just go ahead and do it. Yeah, I agree. So,
Well, the good thing about when I met with Eric and Danielle on the city engineer and stormwaters, as Rob was saying, we do get a lot of water runoff that comes from Farmers Branch Lane through the pathway by the church and right through the grove of trees where we want them to go. And so that's part of the floodway, which we can build in a flood zone, but not an active floodway. And so what he was saying is they're hoping to get funding the new fiscal year to bring on a consultant that is going to be looking at drainage all over the city, that there's issues. And with that, that work would look at Farmers Branch Lane and seeing about diverting water, which it could go possibly, this is all maybes, down Ford Road or further down Farmers Branch Lane, closer to the Dart Rail turn and go towards the creek. That's all if they're able to get all of that. Because right now, if we put anything currently, it's gonna flood. It's, you know, so they said that with, depending on funding and other projects, we're looking at about 1.5 years to get that answer. So, which still is in that timeline. Remember when we took the logs down and said it was gonna be about a 5-year time frame before we could even think about putting them back. So we're still kind of in that timeline, but we want to make sure anywhere we put them, they're going to be safe. And we're not putting them in an area, as Rob said, with the flood zone. And then our other complication, if we try to put them on the pathway out of that, down by the Gilbert House, that area is protected. So with the National Registry. So the Gilbert House and the 2.5, 3 acres of land around it. So we have a lot of limitations on what we can do. So that's why we're all trying to make sure we're doing it right and following all the guidelines that we're supposed to.
When's the last time that whole floodway, flood zone, all of that has been evaluated here?
The map I had, I asked Eric that, and he pulled the one from FEMA, so it is up to date.
Okay.
And he was saying that the area where the tree grove is, or this whole area, is about 4 feet below what it's supposed to be. So there would have to be modifications, and that's where they would get into a study and all the stuff beyond comprehension. But we haven't forgotten. We all want the logs back. They're important.
Thank you. Okay, and can we have a subcommittee report on the Keenan Cemetery?
So the Cub Scouts came out and laid the flags at the veterans' graves for Memorial Day. Unfortunately, we had some really bad rains right afterwards, and my husband and I went and picked them up, and a lot of them were either muddy or torn. Yeah. So I met this lady at Wreaths Across America, and she has resources to provide free flags for veterans' graves. So I have her name and number, and I was going to give her a call and see if they would be willing to replace the ones. Some of them I could save. A lot of them I could not. They're just too dirty and torn.
Order more.
But if we can get them for free,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
So I'm going to give her a call and see if we can get some free flags from her. So they will be out also for Veterans Day in November, and so we'll get those laid out. But I did want to ask how we are proceeding with any restoration of.
Thank you for bringing that up. So, one update with the flags and kind of the restoration, there's a gentleman, part of the, Caldwell and Allsbrook family, that are all buried in Keenan Cemetery. He called, and, the 2 headstones that were on two of his ancestors' graves were almost like just the place markers, not actual headstones. So he actually ordered new headstones, and I met him out there. We got them all placed and everything, look absolutely wonderful. So those are 2 off of the assessment that now don't have to be done. But while we were out there, I saw all the flags, and I do have a couple in my car that I picked up that had washed away. But so I met him, and I was telling him about the headstone cleaning and what we want to do, and he was very excited and said to keep him in the loop. So one thing we were looking at, I did reach out to the Plano Conservancy. They do their headstone cleaning project. And so I'm working on getting all that together. What we're looking at is possibly in the spring and doing a date with, or doing a joint thing with the Friends. And maybe having it on a Saturday. Our fall calendar is really packed right now. So, but we could do early spring and have like a workshop where and show everyone how to use the product, how to safely clean, which ones to identify, and then do something like that. And in the past, I know I talked to former city secretary about it, and she was really excited. So it is on my radar, and we're working towards that. And I think early spring that we already have Friends events planned for the fall. So, but we don't have anything for spring. So I think that would be a fun one.
Oh, that
If
would be-
everyone is on board with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think that would be great. Do you think it would be worthwhile to perhaps, and I would do it just to ask what they offer the Texas Historical Commission? Because I was just briefly looking at, because I wanted to volunteer with some type of cemetery restoration organization. And the Texas Historical Commission, they have a historic cemetery restoration program. And I didn't get deep into it, but it looks like that we may be able to perhaps get some funding from them. And I don't mind calling them and asking what is available and, what type of program they have, what we can do. Because I'm thinking if, they do have some type of funding, then we might be able to absorb that Marsh Cemetery.
Mm.
So,
Sure.
yeah. So I don't know if it has been declared a historical cemetery yet.
I think it has a historical marker on it.
Okay, then if it has a historical marker, then it qualifies for whatever programming. I did read about that. It has to have a historical marker.
I don't know how
But I
that,
don't know if it's declared a historical cemetery. That's the thing.
and I don't know how that works. That's private land. That's not city-owned land.
I know, but isn't that the family that wants to give us, isn't that the cemetery that little?
That's Temple.
Upside.
Where is it?
It's
Oh,
on
It's on
Templeton.
time, but
That's
isn't it
called
the
the
Marsh?
I think.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
the
it.
Marsh Family
Yeah.
Cemetery. That's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
And the surviving ancestor wants to donate it to the city, but the city doesn't want it because it needs a lot of work. But if we could get funding for it, then she could donate it to the city and we could get funding. I'm just saying, if everything falls into place, why would we not do it?
Right, well, the city will end up with it anyway, because
Because-
I researched too about when everybody dies, and then.
Yeah.
Then it's gonna go, it'll take a while, because it has to go to Texas first.
Right,
And then
right.
then they'll come to local, so I did research that as well. It'll just take a while for us to eventually, the city actually, but if she would give it maybe to this historical park instead of to the city, then that could be a way around it. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
We
I
could
don't know.
dig more. I'd have
I
to
mean,
research it
since
more.
Keenan falls under the historical.
But this is private, she can donate it to whoever she wants.
Okay, all right.
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She could donate it to the historical,
yeah.
and then,
I mean, who takes care of it now?
no
No one.
No,
That's the
Okay,
issue,
then-
no one.
Yeah,
I know, but then if she donates it, it would just be in the same state that it would be unless, maybe we could get volunteers
Right.
to take,
Right.
to clean it up or
Boy
whatever.
Scout project.
Exactly, exactly.
That'd be
Boy
a
Scout.
great one.
I mean, that's just some ideas. I would hate to,
The
I
city
know
would
she's been
eventually
trying
get
for
with it
years,
if
yeah,
he
but-
dies in death
but it
center.
would be, I think, easier for her to donate it before she
No, I agree.
passes away. I'm just saying.
Good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I-
Yeah, but-
Can you look up and see who owns the plots of land?
Mhm.
Like who owns land? I've never done that. You just go online and see by
Mhm.
address and
Mhm.
who owns it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind calling the THC and seeing at least what they have to offer
Yeah.
and getting information and going from there.
Mhm.
I mean, they might say, well, we don't have anything for you at this time, or they might say, well, here's a lot of programs, here's information on it. So, doesn't hurt to ask.
That's right. All they can do is say no.
Exactly, exactly.
I have pictures. I remember somebody asked me to take pictures, but I couldn't remember who. So who I sent pictures of that cemetery to?
Are you, I was just looking, that's what I was
'Cause it
looking
lives
at.
right- yeah.
You're gonna send them to me.
Okay, I'm gonna write that down because I went and took the pictures and then I was like, I don't know what
Yeah.
I'm supposed to do with these.
You can text them or email
I do too.
them to me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, I could give you my cell, but it's on the list.
Yeah,
If
it's
you
on,
don't
you're,
have the
you're
list.
on my fridge
Yeah,
somewhere
okay,
under a million other things, but I'll find it. Okay, so I will send those to you.
okay,
I took the pictures.
okay.
All right, any other questions?
So I'm just gonna take it upon myself to contact THC. and
So we're
find
getting new flags,
Make
most,
possible.
one way or
out
another.
one way or
And
another.
they're gonna get put up again in November.
November.
And then Hillary's gonna come up with a date and how to work with the friends to clean them.
Right.
And
In
then
the
you're,
spring.
and then you guys are gonna work on whatever Marsh is up to.
Yeah.
Man, that subcommittee is busy.
It's only me.
That subcommittee
I've been
is
doing
busy.
a little research too, I have to say. I'm
Thank
looking
you
at-
very
Well, let me know what
Thank you
you
very much.
need. I'm happy to help as
Yeah,
well.
I will too.
Mhm.
Let us know.
Yeah.
All right, receive an update from board members on park programs, events, and facilities attended in the city of Farmers Branch.
I attended a graduation party for two brothers at the venue.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Did I do that? I think it was in June.
The nice.
It was very nice.
Who went to the opening of, Branch Connection?
I went to the informal one, the soft,
The softball. It's
Soft-
nice, isn't it?
well, if the bathrooms work.
Yeah, that's true. I
The
didn't go-
bathrooms didn't work?
I didn't go in the
They've
bathroom.
been shut down for a couple weeks at a time.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah.
important.
On
for the branch.
Thursday, yeah.
Seniors, that's pretty important.
Well, they have,
For
they have,
everybody.
the family one stays open. The other ones seems to always have plumbers in it. At least on Mondays.
Might check that out there. Yeah.
I
Looks
wouldn't
like
worry
they're
about it.
just hearing about this.
Yeah. They've been open as far as we know, so.
Anything else?
I'm going to Oklahoma tomorrow. The musical,
Yeah.
Okay.
not the fair.
I thought you meant to say it. I was like,
No.
oh,
I was like,
How did that
Tangent. Okay.
Stay here. Oh, cool.
Well, let us know how it is next, or in August.
Yep, and Charlie's registered for Girls Make History, so I'll let you know in August how much. I'm sure she's gonna love it.
Good. Okay. Discuss agenda items for future historical preservation and restoration board meetings. Anybody?
I'd like to keep the Keenan Cemetery on it since
Yeah.
there's stuff
Mhm.
going on.
Okay.
And where we are with the drainage and flood and master plan and my dear log cabins that I so
Yeah.
miss.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, I
because
don't think we
remember,
really have anything until.
We won't have anything for,
we
for a
need-
while.
For a
For a
while,
while.
yeah, I think that, yeah.
Is the flood map like readily available, or could we bring it to the August meeting so we could see it?
Yeah, let's bring it. I mean, I have like a copy of it, but yeah, I'll get it more.
Anybody else?
yeah, because remember, we don't have a meeting in
Right.
July, so
Right.
getting
So
everything
everything-
on the August,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
And I may, since we have new members, but I won't be here for
Mhm.
August, I may push it to September, so,
Sure.
but I don't want to put
Not that.
new,
Yeah.
new things on Bonnie and then.
do we
she'll
know
next
who
week.
the new members are? I know
Uh,
Pat's one of them.
Pat and then Helena. She got married. Her last name was Stevenson. I think it's Puka. She used to be a steward of ours. But yes, they will be joining us in August. They will be alternates. So as soon as
And
I
I
get
am no
their,
longer an alternate.
yes, I think they.
Hey.
So as soon as I get the new roster, I will update our contact sheet that I send everyone and I'll have that. If not for the August meeting, I'll have it for the September. So everyone will have the meeting dates, contact info and all of that good stuff.
Okay. Anything else?
Well, no, I do have one. So we talked about having like a pickleball party.
Yes.
With the board.
Right, let's do
So
it.
are we doing that with the old board or with the new board
We can do
or?
it.
Or combined.
We can do it, come on.
Yeah.
Is anybody
And you
willing?
could do it in
It's just
August
two
and
new
push the
people, right?
meeting to September.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I I wasn't paying attention.
The pickleball party for the board. I said we could
Oh.
do that for August
Oh,
since
there
you
you
won't be
I'll
here.
play pickleball.
And
And
Take
have the
pictures,
meeting
yeah,
in
and have the
August.
meeting in
August or
September.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll work on that.
okay,
For August.
Yeah.
Well, we can just have it on our meeting date.
yeah.
That
Well,
works.
if y'all are changing it, do we have to cancel? No, y'all aren't canceling the meeting. Y'all would just have it.
Yeah, have
Yeah.
it still
All right, just make sure I'm doing it right.
We will have a party.
burning.
Do we have to
No,
record it? and put it
no,
on
it's
the
called personal training development. Come on.
Bonding time.
Bonding time.
Get to know the new ones.
Yeah,
Board bonding.
okay, meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I knew